Welcome to Ryan's Road podcast number 27. This guy is useless.
Thank you. You saved me there.
I did save you. I'm always saving you.
Flaky today. Yeah. Hi guys. Welcome back to this week.
It's been a shit week, innit?
Yeah, man. It's bullshit.
It has been a shit week all round.
Like, I always feel bad with weeks like this for the podcast because I'm like, I haven't got a fucking theme ready. Like, early days of the podcast, I weren't too worried because I'm like, yeah, I haven't properly planned a theme, but I know what I'm going to talk about, man. Like, I've been thinking about this week and it's what I'll fucking talk about.
Yeah.
Whereas when I feel like this, I'm like, mate, it's bullshit.
Well,
like,
what can we do? We can talk about why you feel bad.
That's it, yeah. And the other thing is, like, I like, same as I do with all my social stuff, like with my fitness stuff and everything else, it's like, I like to think of 5-10 years from now. Like, so in 5-10 years from now, when we're still doing this fucking podcast.
Ah!
What?
Right, speaking of that,
okay,
I've literally quoted you verbatim
right
to that Leanne at work.
Right.
Because you know she's leaving.
Yeah.
That my manager.
Yeah.
She's on about she's going back to school studying animal diplomas.
Oh,
and
nice.
Stuff, and she's got some experience. Like, what's it called when you work for free?
Oh, yeah.
What's it called?
I don't know. That thing
where you're going, you volunteer work.
Right, yeah.
She's been doing volunteer work at some like little farms and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, start an Instagram.
Fuck yeah.
I was like, fucking document it.
Yeah.
And she was like, what, really? People are going to watch that? I was like, yeah, well, think like, if you do that for 5 years, document everything you've been doing. Just a couple of posts a day, what you're doing, what you're up to, what your goals are. I was like, you could be an inspiration to someone in 5 years. Someone could find you because you're mid-30s to late 30s.
Yep.
Dropping everything and starting fresh.
Fuck yeah.
You're fucking going
That's a story.
Exactly. You're going for something.
I got tingles.
Yeah, you're going for something. And I was like, just document it. You could be like, your first day, like, just quit my job. Going to start my studying. I'll feel that kind of shit.
Yeah.
A couple of snaps when she's on the animal farms and stuff. I was like, and then someone could find you in 5 years and be like, oh wow, she's awesome. What an inspiration, and go back. It's like, fuck, she struggled and she did all this and she still did it and she's coming around on it. She's like, yeah, I might do that.
Fuck yeah.
I was like, fuck yeah. I was like, document everything.
Yes.
I was like, just pretty much quoted you verbatim.
Yeah, and
also, big shout out while we're here to Cal, if you're listening.
Yes, mate. Well done.
Fucking
proud of you.
Proud of you for this shit.
Mwah.
If anyone's on Instagram, follow him. It's Cal_versus_fat. And he's a dear friend of ours.
He is.
And he's documenting his weight loss journey.
Yeah.
As you can imagine.
He's a big guy.
He's a big guy. And he's documenting his weight loss journey, which is always... Because Cal is literally the most athletic person.
That's the crazy thing, isn't it?
I've ever met in my life.
He's not like some lazy fat guy.
No, he stomps me at squash every fucking time we play. He swims like a fucking god.
That's it.
He owns his own swimming school. He teaches kids how to swim. He's incredibly smart. He's incredibly talented. But he's always been concerned about his weight. And
I feel like he's a sportsman and we're trying to advertise
I know,
it. You're doing a pitch.
I know, but he's like...
Couldn't just be a gradual, like, nice one done, like, well done, pal, like, proud of you. Anyway,
I know, but he's awesome. And
he is.
It's a bit of good news. Like, just proud of him for doing it, so good for you, Cal. Go follow him on Instagram.
He tagged us in his post saying, like, because of us, and we've got some other friends that have started a podcast as well, and well done to you guys, if any of you listening to this one.
The Thrill Seekers podcast, go check them out.
That's it.
THREEL Seekers.
That's
not
it.
Real Seekers, but Thrill Seekers. Because there's 3 of them. So.
This is just the fucking sponsored
I know,
portion
but
of the podcast.
But people tagging us as inspiration.
It is. It's lovely.
It's nice. It goes to show that whatever you do, there is people out there that will listen.
And even with that, even though he's like our friend, I've been friends with him for years and whatnot.
Friends with him for as long as
I
can remember.
Just seeing us do this and whatnot and just pushing it, it's nice.
It is nice. It's nice to see that you can reach people and having a positive impact.
That's it. And we'll be watching you, Cal, won't we?
Mate, I'll be loving and liking every
We'll be
post
keeping an eye on
do.
you, making sure you're regular posting what the fuck you're doing,
and
mate.
Fuck yeah, you're getting on this podcast as well, pal.
Yes, we'll get him on.
As a business owner as well, to talk to you.
Yeah.
That'd be a nice little...
That'd be a good one. Like COVID shit as well, how we got on through there.
Because I know that nearly floored him on his fucking arse, COVID. So that'd be nice for you two to talk about that.
That's it. Us 3.
I'll be in that. Yeah, but I'll be like, you alright, guys?
Oh, God. I know we're like tangenting like fuck, which is... I don't mind. It's a good thing. Jocko the other day, he's got Theo Von.
That name rings a bell. What does that name ring a bell?
He's been on Joe a couple of times and whatnot.
I think I remember you mentioning him too.
I might have done it the other day. He's really cool. He's like a comedian, but he's proper fucking Louisiana fucking kind of guy.
Proper down south.
But like, in the Jocko one, he gets a bit deeper about his past and shit and whatnot. But because he's a comedian, every now and then he just starts like talking shit to get the laughs, because as a comedian it's like he needs that. Like he's getting a bit insecure and deep talking, then he'll just like fling something out to take the piss. And the amount of times he's like, so Echo, you gonna fucking say something? He's like, do you ever talk? And Echo's just like,
yeah, hey.
Hey.
Want some supplements?
So, guys, yeah, on another podcast that we listen to called Jocko Podcast, he's got a co-host called Echo, which
I like to think I'm your Echo.
You pretty much never hear from him until the end.
Yeah, he always has a little bit.
I
like Echo. I like the rapport they have between each other. It's really
nice.
good to see. You can tell like they're best mates.
Fuck yeah.
So that's really cool to see.
Swinging all the way back.
Man, this podcast has started way more positive than I thought.
I know. The week's like been fucking horrendous.
It's been horrendous. Although I did max my personal best of, what was it, 14 or 13 pull-ups?
I did 20.
You did do 20 pull-ups, this guy.
Mate, I went against my own rule and I squeezed. But that's because, like...
I'm thinking of going back to the squeezing, man.
See...
Just doing them pull-ups, that felt real good to, like, push it.
It's nice. It's just the only reason I'm kind of trying to vlog and put that point across of not squeezing and whatnot is just for the people that are scared of exercising and don't have the time and my whole spiel. So I feel I need to do enough. I need to do it myself long enough and document doing it so I can get to a good like physique point to be like, look, I've just been doing that and this is where I've got to. Just so I kind of documented that and then I could do what I prefer. And I could, because already I'm like, man, if I'm doing 20 reps, I need to put weight on.
1,000,000%.
Yeah, I need to get my weight.
Mate, you hit like 50 and you need to start putting some weight on.
Yeah, exactly. But I want to do that for those people.
Oh, then talking about gyms and all your vlogging with pull-up back, I had to go with my brother earlier. Went around Gaz's earlier.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I've joined the gym.
Yeah.
And I was like,
why?
You don't need to just get a pull-up bar, Gaz.
Yeah, just get a fucking bar.
Get a pull-up bar. But he's kind of fucked himself over a bit. Because he's like super runner, cardio athlete, man. He runs like 20 miles a fucking day. Dude's insane.
Yeah.
And it's like, and he wants to like bulk up and stuff. And I'm like, well, you can't. I was like, you're a runner.
Yeah.
You're not, if you start bulking up and putting the weight on that, you ain't going to be able to run to your standards that you can now.
Depends how he trains. Like, won't get too much.
But it sounds like you wanted to get into the bulky bodybuilding, weightlifting these sides. And I was like, Gaz, just get a fucking pull-up bar.
If you're better off doing.
Because then you can lean yourself and then keep up with your running.
He'd be better off doing CrossFit then.
Oh yeah, 1,000,000%.
Yeah, that sounds like his avenue there. Because that's everything.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what it's called, CrossFit. Because it's a fucking. They do calisthenics, they do weights, and they do cardio.
What's that CrossFit tournament, man? That's fucking insane.
Oh, the CrossFit Games, it's sick.
It's fucking insane.
I'd love to have Matt Fraser on here, who won it 5 years in a row.
How ridiculous? Yeah, that's like 365 days a year training.
Oh yeah, like that was his life. But again, he was like younger, living mum and dad.
He had the time.
Yeah, went on. You've pretty much already said the point of when you give the example of what you said to that Leanne bird from. We need to stop using names on this podcast.
She don't give a shit. She don't listen.
No, cool.
Hi Leanne, if you're listening, you're not, so it's fine.
I'm not exactly up for today or planned it or anything, but yeah, what kind of gets me in here is that in 10 years when we're still podcasting and like my kids are older and like I ain't living month to month, I'm living week to week, day by day at the fucking minute in regards to money and all that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, in 10 years time, kids will be older, the wife would have been working as well, hopefully all this other shit would have fucking settled, your kid will be older by then even though it's not even born. So like life will be more comfortable then because we'll be like in our 40s instead of in our 30s. So then when we're still talking to people are going like, oh well, it's easy for you, no. We'll be like, go listen to podcast number 20 or 20, like when it was like it was there. So I know that this podcast this week might not be the most fucking engaging or interesting or bringing the most value to people, but within along the lines of this podcast and I've been doing it from the start, it's almost like it's a documented journey. It's a statement as well.
Like I said, it's real.
Yeah.
Isn't it? It's not all sugar fucking coated rainbows.
No,
you're not gonna jazz it all up and everything and just this is how we've been this week.
Yeah, well,
it's documenting the week. It's how it's been. It's been fucking shit.
What have you been up to this week?
What have you been up to this week? Although we have started quite positively with high energy.
I know, right? So now I'm in 2 minds to do just try and continue that.
Should we delve into the darkness, Ryan?
If we have to, what do you want to? I mean,
you ain't got to go into it too much. Just a rough.
Oh yeah, just like a
a
general thing. I mean, I did put a post up. If you follow my socials, I put a post on my work page for my business. And I basically copy and pasted that onto my Ryan's Road page and then on my Instagram as well. Basically explaining that me and my family were in a crash. It was nearly 4 years ago because it happened a couple of days after my wife's birthday, which is in a couple of weeks. So in a few weeks, it'll be 4 years since it happened. Basically, we go down the road, dual carriageway, just joined, driving in a straight fucking line on a Sunday morning. And we got smacked down the side, which sent our car off down a ditch. Car rolled, landing on the roof, crushed to fuck.
Man, I've seen the pictures. How the fuck any of you survived that.
I know. If you go on my socials,
It's brutal.
Instagram or Facebook, I put a picture, and like I say, with the
Mate,
post,
it barely looks like a fucking car.
there's nothing left like from the front wheels forward, sort
It's
of
just
thing.
fucking insane.
Even the insurance at the time said they'd never had such a damaged car. Like I heard all the shit, like, you know, you're lucky to be alive and everything else and all that kind of crap. So yeah, it was a really bad crash. My kids were 1 and 2 at the time, and basically it's like me and the wife got diagnosed with PTSD from it a year ago, because then there was the crash itself, and then like we've had a string. We're on our 4th fucking solicitor. We had one guy for a year who then retired, so we didn't do fuck all with the case for a year.
How long did it take Simone to get a wrist sorted as well?
Oh, there's that.
Jesus.
Fucking the second solicitor was like, took over. I'm always very empathetic and trying to be patient with people. So the second solicitor was like, well, I've just took on all this guy's work and there's court dates booked for these cases and I can't rebook the court dates, so I need to get familiarised with these cases, ready for the court dates. So she's like, oh, I'm kind of tied up. I was like, yeah, it's fine. Just like keep in touch with me. So she did a year and then quit.
Jesus.
Then we had another woman who, after a few months, warmed up to us and she was actually really helpful. And then, yeah, start of this year, she quit. For fuck's sake. And then the woman we've then had has been like really fucking shit, hardly talks to you, basically tried telling me to do her work. So then I ended up sending her an email a couple of weeks ago basically saying like, sort your fucking self out because this ain't on, blah de blah. And then nicely of her, she offered to come down the house and have a sit with me and the wife and go through everything. So that was a couple of weeks ago. So it's all been a mess in itself. But then I started my actual treatment 3 weeks ago, might be 4 now, or it might be 4 next week. And basically everything's gone to shit since. I think I put it in my post. It's hard because I'm having to fucking go and sit for an hour in here on the phone with this fucking counsellor bitch. I say bitch, she's lovely. I won't lie, she's really nice. But it's like I'm having to dig into everything to do with the crash and the way I perceive life now and everything. And then when I get off the phone, it's like I've got jobs to go do.
Yeah.
I've got to literally step out this room, get my work boots on, head out the door, get me van, go and fucking work. Then when I get home, I'm dad and I'm husband until I get to fucking sleep. And then it's just shit. So
imagine digging around in your head,
I'm getting
talking about the worst fucking experience of your life for an hour, and then having to just
the
put
first
the phone
session
down
was
and pretend
hard.
everything's normal.
Because it's been a year since I got assessed. She had to reassess me, so she had to literally go through, right, explain the day to me from the beginning to end.
Jeez,
and how you felt and
Christ.
everything. So that was the hardest fucking. That day was shit because then my cuss was even like, oh, sorry, like, I've booked all my holiday days. We do the job today or we ain't fucking doing it. And me being me, I was like, oh, okay, I'll just eat my lunch then I'll fucking come do the job, like, cunt. So, like, there's that side of it, which ain't been enjoyable. But then the more fucked up thing is that, without turning this into my own therapy session, the way I perceived... So basically, the way I explain it to my fucking counsellor and shit is that I've always been a very involved parent and a very involved husband. So I'm always very, like, you might probably got a sense of this from the podcast already, of like how I talk to my wife, and like from when we first met, I'm like, we always communicate. I don't want to fucking shit to build up. Always talk to me, sort of thing. I've always put a lot of effort and work into my relationship, and a lot of effort and work into being a parent. I took parenting like a job. Like I'm always aware of like how the kids are going to be when they're older. Like I hate all that. Oh, they're only 1, they're only 2, all that kind of bullshit. Like I'm very much of, okay, so I'm raising these children to be people, and they're going to be people for most of their lives. They're only going to be children for like 10, 15 years, and the rest of it they're going to be adults. So I can worry that I'm not trying to have them like a really nice, happy, carefree, shield them from the world childhood. I'm trying to show them love, but show them respect and give them lessons on how the world's going to work. So that's me anyway. And then since the crash, a little bit unknowns to me, but like I've had a lot of haste with it. Like I know when my kids were first born and the wife would say, oh, you talk to them like they're adults. And I'm like, well, yeah, because they are. And I remember I'd talk to them and the wife would be like, you know, they don't understand any of that. And I remember then saying to her, well, but yeah, as long as I say it, if 10% goes in and I keep saying the same shit to them throughout their childhood, it's going to do them some good. Something's going to sink in eventually, isn't it? If I'm always saying the same sort of thing about life and whatnot. Whereas now I find, like, especially with my eldest, I'm trying to talk to him, but if he ain't listening, I get really fucked off and get really impatient because the feeling is almost like you need to learn to be a man now because I could be dead tomorrow and then you're going to be fucked for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And then because I get ratty with him, then on the night I'm like, what if I'm dead tomorrow and the last thing I fucking said to him was fucking behave and have a go at him? So then I'll just fucking start crying and fucking break down because I'm like, well, this is fucking shit. So there's that whole fucking side of it. And then there's like, that's been even more impacted. Like it was more in my last session I had with my fucking counsellor, because she was saying, she specifically asked me what was different between Ryan before the crash and Ryan after the crash. So it made me think about it. And when she was asking me the questions, I was like, well, I've never had to think about this. Why the fuck would I sit there and think that?
No.
As a thought. I wouldn't sit there on my own and go, I wonder what's different about me now. Because I'm too busy thinking, what job have I got on? Who's arguing with who? Is the missus alright? Is the house fucking da-da-da-da? What's my future going to be? I'll do the fucking podcast and all this sort of shit. And so yeah, she made me think about it. And it made me realise a few things. Like now, all my work I do local in the town. I don't travel for work, so I can be home. So I'm here to take the kids to school, and I'm here pretty much in time for fucking dinner. I don't work fucking weekends. Like, I do small jobs as well because it's easy and convenient, and it's like a good niche for where I live. But also, people don't want invoices because I'm going to do like 30, 40 quid, 20 quid. They're like, oh yeah, cheers for fitting my light, here's the money. Or the back's me, yeah, I'll wire you 30 quid. They don't want an invoice for that. Because it's companies, or if you've done a rewire, yeah, they want an invoice fucking done.
Yeah.
Or if we go to like a firm, like a business and do something, yeah, invoice. The point being is, I do all that because I don't want to waste the time, but like to a point where like I fucking resent anything like that I have to do. So if I've got an invoice that I need to do, like it's took me like literally no joke, like 2-3 weeks to do one invoice that would take me probably, by the time I turn my computer on, do it, write it up, send it, maybe a half hour. I will not fucking do it because I'm like, and I'm not even like I can't be arsed. I'm literally like that. You can hear it in my voice now. I'm like, I refuse to fucking do that. Because it's taking time away from doing shit that I hold more value in, that's going to improve my life in the long run. You know what I mean? But I remember I was like, fuck, I actually used to have folders, and I'd do an invoice for every job. And I'd even double it up. So they got an invoice and I'd have one for my folders. When Harvey was born, my first son, I went back to work the next day. I was like, fuck, if the missus had a baby now, I wouldn't work for a month. I'd be fucking here. I'd be like, I got a baby, mate, you can fuck off, work can. Like... But it made me realise more, like, shit, yeah, I have actually, because I've twisted it in my head. Like I said, when I first spoke to the woman, she was like, what do you think we can do to help your life? And I kind of laughed and went, well, I don't really see what the fuck you can do. Because in my head, that's why I'm pushing the podcast and the YouTube channel and everything, because I want to earn a living from home. So I can be literally here every minute of the day that the kids are. So, like, take them to school and whatnot. During the school hours, I could be in here recording podcasts, getting feature people on. I could record vlogs and stuff. I can do exercise routines and everything all within the school hours and editing and everything. And then be there for the school run, see them from school. Once they're in bed, again, probably another hour or two in the studio and stuff, getting shit done. And I could do it completely around them. But another misinterpretation that people, when I say this to them, they'll be like, oh yeah, you nearly died and whatnot. So like, you really value family time of like being with your kids. I'm like, it actually isn't that. It's because I want to be there to raise them. Because the wife struggles, because she's one, got her own struggles anyway, and then she's two, got her own struggles because of the crash, because like I say, she's got Ptsd. So then if I know she's going to struggle with the kids and be like stressy and stuff, I'll know that she won't properly parent the children. So like, I've come back before and she's like really pissed off. Oh, kids have been terrible, blah, blah, blah. And I'll be like, how many warnings have you given them? And she'll be like, oh, I ain't. So I know damn well, instead of giving them warnings and putting them on the stairs and having like a system in place to discipline them so they learn good behaviour and bad behaviour, instead she's like, stop fucking doing that. Like,
yeah, straight to exploding.
You haven't heard it, but I know that's what she would have been doing. Which in my head, I'm like, one, I don't want my wife stressed, and then two, I'm like, the kids aren't being raised then. Like, that's impacting them for the future. And then again, what if I'm dead tomorrow? And that's how they've been raised. They ain't going to be ready for the future. So this is the more twist that comes from the crash. It ain't so much like, oh, I want to have cuddly time with my kids because I could be dead any day. I'm like, it's like I've heightened that characteristic I had before of like being a good parent and readying them for life. So I went from, right, I'm going to be a good parent, I'm going to ready them for life. Like a good parent. I'm like, they need to be ready now, because what if I'm not here tomorrow to do it for them? Like, one of the weird things I thought about doing like a series of podcasts and not either not uploading them or uploading them as like a separate playlist, literally talking to my kids about life and like lessons and shit for if I'm not here. Not so much along the lines of, I want to kill myself so I'll do that, but more just along the lines of like, yeah, I'll just do that so it's there. Because I said that to my counsellor, I was like, that's interesting, because that implies that I think I'm not going to be here long enough. Like, why would I think about doing videos like that for them to help them with life if I think I'm going to be around like until they're adults? So it's all that shit. But then what she basically said to me in the last session was like, basically I need to look at what options I've got, because she's like, this ain't working, because I need to fucking work and earn money because I'm the sole person earning money for the fucking house. But I need to be there to raise the kids and like teach them properly how to be fucking people. I can't bear the wife being stressed or falling apart either, so I need to be there to support her. So I'm in this shitty little fucking, again, that positive feedback loop, or negative, we still need to double check what way around that is. But she's there, like my counsellor's like, she's like, you can't do all that. She's like, you're being pulled in too many directions. That ain't gonna work. I'm like, yeah, you're right. So I was already aware of this, but in my head, I'm like, that's why I've put these things in place to eventually down the line change the way I work from home, So in my head, I weren't too worried about it. I'm like, I'm doing things. I'm gonna get there, and I'm quite a patient person. So I was like, oh, but then she's basically said like, it ain't working. You need to fix it now. Like, we need to do it. So that's just fucked me up for the week, because it's basically said like, your life ain't right and you need to make a change. Because then she said things like, oh, like, what if you didn't do the podcast for a while? And stayed away from that and concentrated on like your work and other things. And I'm not telling you to. She's like, I'm just spitballing options here, things you can do. And I'm like, you can't see me now, but I'm wincing at you saying that. Like, it ain't an option for me not to do the podcast, sort of thing. Or she'd be like, well, if your wife's there struggling a bit with the kids and whatnot, she's like, maybe like you just leave them to it and you go and like message your customers and do your work. And I'm like, I made her laugh, because I'm like, you know, when you get a kid and they don't want to do something and they just sit in the corner going, no. I went, that's my brain right now. When she's there like, leave the wife, go do your work. I'm like, no, not doing it. No. Because I'm like, that's how I feel. That's the worst thing as well. It's not even like a conscientious thought of words of going, no, I won't do that. This is more important. It's literally an in-depth feeling. I just feel like anxious and like resentment towards the work. I'm like, I ain't fucking doing that. Almost like stand on the edge of a cliff and someone going, go on then, jump. I'm like, fucking jump. So, like, given the choice, I'm like, I don't want to fucking work. I want to be here for the family. I need to be here to raise them. So that's why it's been hard, because that's kind of... It's one of the things that you got to break before you can build.
Yeah.
So it's kind of broke me a bit more, because I'm like, every day now, all day, I'm just thinking, like I speak to my fight club coach, and I was like, I might have to start coming, like, once a week. Like, or not at all. Like, because I still want to do my jiu-jitsu, but I'm like, ultimately, I'm not going to be...
If you're going to drop something...
I'm not going to be a jiu-jitsu champion, because that isn't my sole fucking hobby. Like, but I do enjoy it. But again, it's the thing of like, oh, maybe I need to let that go a bit to have some more time to maybe work on the podcast more, because this is aiding to my future more. And stuff like that.
That's what you mean.
But you know what I mean? Weighing things up like that, like things I literally have to change within my life now. No.
My question...
Yeah.
I wanted to say it earlier, but you're on a bit of a roll.
Yeah.
You were saying like you want to be here to help raise the kids, which is obviously fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what are you going to do when they're grown up? Are you still going to feel that way?
I don't know. This is obviously why. This is PTSD, man. This is my problem. This is the thing I've got to fix. Like, yeah, I'll always be a guiding father, but I'll always give them room. But the immediate thing is, it's the PTSD, like almost like morphing of my original issues or concepts. It's just all been kind of skewed and fucked up. So that's what I'm having to work through. But like I say, the biggest thing that's fucked me is me going like, right, like I've actually got to do things to change like the way I do with my life now. And then because the wife is always on such a fragile balance, because she don't really get much support and she struggles with her own shit and blah blah blah. Like I say, we've dug into that, and that's when we realised, oh fucking hell, yeah, it's like that. She hadn't even started her fucking sessions yet.
God knows what she's going to be like.
Yeah. Like, and even when I was talking to my counsellor, she was on about like, how was your wife, blah blah. And I was like, yeah, I don't remember worrying about her that much. Like when the kids were little, when they were like 1 and 2, like babies, like when you literally need to be with them all the fucking time, and you literally need to feed them with a spoon, and you have to dress them every fucking inch of them, and you have to be there constantly. It's like, in my head, from what I remember, that was easier. I don't remember that being as hard as it is now. It's like,
yeah.
Whereas now, like, 2 of them dress themselves and feed themselves and talk and have a conversation with them and speak in full sentences. And Mikey, you could pretty much have a conversation with. And he half dresses himself and he feeds himself and everything else. Yeah, they bicker and argue, which is like any parent thing. But it's like, it ain't as hard as it was then. Like, I've had a couple of days this week where my middle son's now at school, and like, with my youngest son moving to the big group in nursery means he could do afternoons. So I think it's 2 days a week, or 1 day a week, he does like a full day nursery, which is school hours. And my mother actually had my youngest last Monday, which was a fucking first. But anyway, so like she hadn't had any of the kids full school hours. And then within 20 minutes of getting them from school, she's broke. Like, had enough. Like, full on fucked. I'm like, you've only had them fucking 20 minutes. But you can't say that then because it implies like, oh, you can't handle
Can't
it.
do it.
Yeah, and you don't want to do that. It's more a case of like that isn't good. That it's that short a time and it's already broke you. That's how fragile she is.
Yeah.
And she's always been quite fragile anyway. But I've always been, like I say, I've had my own issues. But in my head, I'm like, well, that's why I'm pushing with my podcast and my YouTube and everything because I want to.
This is your outlet.
Yeah. Well, it's an outlet. It hits a few different things. It hits my creativity. It hits my outlet. It hits the thing of like I've always been empathetic and helpful and liked helping people. So it hits that with the podcast and the fitness because I do want to help people improve their life. That's what I'm talking about this, not for my sake, so that hopefully people listen to this be like, fuck yeah man, like, I'm not the only one struggling, but I like to help. And then obviously, yes, you can monetize this down the line, and I'd like to be able to make an income from it so I could do it from home. Don't want to be a fucking millionaire, but if I can make an income from it,
just enough to like quit work.
Yeah.
And just
maybe just less hours or whatever. But yeah, so in my head I'm like, right, I've got that in place, I'm a patient person, I can work on that. Whereas now, after having these fucking sessions, it's like, no, you got to change some shit now. I'm like, fuck. What the fuck can I do?
What do you change?
What the fuck do I do? So when the wife's fucking struggling now, I'm like, I ain't here, love. Like, I can't be as strong and supportive as I have been in the past because I'm actually really trying to figure out what the fuck I've got to do because I'm going through counselling at the minute, which means she ain't got that rock, which means she's breaking down more, which then means I break down more. So it's a whole big, horrible fucking ball of dick. So it's like, yay, fun times. Like the wife, like James here and his missus, they come for game nights. Never been for a while because his missus has been back at work, but she's off on Fridays again now. So they were meant to come. Was it last Friday you meant to come?
Friday, yeah.
Last Friday they meant to come, but we had to cancel. You were going to come this Friday, and then we cancelled, and then they were going to come tonight, and then we cancelled because the missus ain't fucking in a state. Like Friday, she put a post on Facebook about like, wouldn't it be easy to fucking kill herself? Which one positive thing, Facebook's really cool. Because after she put that, she had an automatic, like, private message from Facebook with a load of links and shit.
Oh, about
so, like, do you need help? Talk to Pia. Loads of different ways.
That's
like,
good, to be fair.
But it really breaks it down. Like, she showed me the links, and it really breaks down if it's about financial, if it's emotional and whatnot. It gives you, like, an automated message you can pick to send to a friend saying, like, I need help. Like, will you talk to me sort of thing.
That's good, to be fair. Fair play,
hell.
Facebook, for that. I've heard nothing but shit about you, but that's a nice step.
I thought that was really fucking good.
Yeah, that's quite clever.
It's fucking nice. But yeah, so, I mean, that's as... If it shows you anything, yeah, I had me fucking wife on Friday, 2 days ago. Oh, that's a second. Basically saying like, yeah, wouldn't it be easy if like I was just dead? And that was on a Facebook post. It ain't uncommon for her to say that in the house. Like,
I've heard her say it a couple of times.
I don't want to be here anymore. Shit like that. I'm just gonna turn the camera on and off. So yeah, so within that, when I've come to like, with this stuff, I haven't planned a podcast. 'Cause I haven't planned a theme. I did listen to one podcast in the week that perked me up a bit. And I thought, but what I'd like to do is re-listen to that again because it was like this professor woman and she was really cool with the way she thought about things. But that's like a homework I need to do. I'm like, again, it gets to the evenings, man, where I'm like, because I'm having these sessions every week and I don't get any time to decompress.
I know it sounds really stupid, but have you tried
Go on.
like meditation? I know it sounds stupid, but I've been listening to this book.
Yeah.
While I'm at work in well-being and mindfulness.
Yeah.
And it's like. Just little kind of like 10-minute meditation exercises and how to kind of value things and put things into perspective and that. And
so
what sounds...
Not being pedantic, what would you class as meditation? In my head, and I've just asked you the question, I'm answering it myself. In my head, it's taking time to like think.
It's like just refocus yourself, essentially.
I feel like I'm in a constant state of that. Like whenever I'm driving around in my van or anything, I'm constantly like, just trying to like piece things and what can I do.
Yeah, on the flip side of that, you're not supposed to be thinking.
Right.
It's kind of like
this is the sort of more.
One of the exercises I saw is like just picture a blue sky.
Okay.
And then like picture a busy motorway, and then picture all the cars and stuff. And it's like, but then try and picture it where you can see every car individually.
Okay.
And it's like, and then just watch as the road just gets quieter and quieter and quieter until there's nothing there.
So my imagination, and then a bum comes along and fucking eagles come out the sky with really teeth and destroy everyone.
I've been listening to that book and it sounds quite good.
Yeah.
Because I've been thinking about just getting up in the mornings 10 minutes earlier and just.
On a flip of that I've been thinking lately is because struggling so much and blah blah, is that we ain't doing any fucking cardio in our morning sessions since we got back to it.
Do you know what I want to do on that regard? I've been thinking I want to buy a skipping rope, like yours.
Yeah.
And I can't skip. I'm shit, but I just want to spend 10 minutes every morning just trying.
Well, we'll do that.
And just getting better and better.
We'll do that tomorrow.
Because
I'd love to fucking skip.
I've always quite liked the idea of like just doing the.
I feel like there's a length you need to get them to. Because I think you can cut them down, can't you?
Oh, I ain't got a fucking clue, mate.
I
Surely
swear-
there's like retractable.
I swear I've
skipping
seen
ropes
something
and
somewhere.
stuff.
You cut them down because the ones I've got, they feel too long. And surely if you're a tall person or a little person, then yeah, it would affect because your legs are different legs and shit like that. Love I've gone on to skipping ropes.
So it's gotta be. But yeah, no, I've always fancied that as a cardio. I've always fancied trying that.
But one of the ways I used to describe as doing cardio is that it lifts the fog.
It does, to be fair. Clears your head.
Because that's what I've been thinking this whole week. I'm really struggling. I'm like, why aren't I fucking exercising? Like, just doing a bit of cardio because it fucking helps. Because it does that. The same as the meditation thing.
It clears your head.
It takes your mind away from it and whatnot.
You get your heart pumping and then for that couple of minutes, all there is cardio. That's it. That's all you're thinking about.
But in regards to, like, you're saying, like, about just meditating and whatnot, again, it's my life, and some people, like, I compare this to, like, my fight club coach, because I'll talk to him about, like, stuff, and he'll be like, all about my socials and whatnot, because about the way he runs socials for his gym. He'd be like, oh, well, you know, you do this and like posting at this time, and I think he suggested this in a business course about how to do the socials and da 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 da. And again, it's this thing of like, I know what to do with socials. I know exactly what I need to do and what I've done wrong so far and what I could do better and da da da. And then I have to keep reminding him like, but I've got a whole business of doing electrics. That's my job. That's my full-time job. I'm an electrician. I was like, and I'm a parent to 3 young fucking kids.
It's not like you're just doing the socials for your business.
I was like, if that was the only thing I was doing, and he's giving that advice, like, yeah, fair enough. And he's like, why don't you do that? I'm like, because I've got to do work and I've got to talk to customers and I've got to look after the fucking kids and all that fucking shit. So it's like, yeah, when I'm getting back from work and whatnot, obviously I'm putting the time in with the kids. So like, it seems to be since I had COVID for them 3 weeks and that fucked my routine up, and then since then I've started doing my counselling and whatnot, like shit's just gone fucking crap since then. Before that, I had like the evenings when me and the wife knew it's like, those are studio days. I get in the studio on those evenings, and that's when I get my editing done for like the vlogs and stuff like that. Because I had a couple vlogs before. I had my normal vlog and my fitness vlog, and I started doing snippets as well for the podcast. So like I was building it up and it was working within the time frame I had. But now I'm like, once I've done all that, like I've got no motivation because like I'm trying to figure how to fix my fucking life. But at the same time, it's like I've got young kids. So like Mikey at the minute, he just keeps getting out of fucking bed when you put him to bed. So you spend about the next fucking between 30 minutes and 40 minutes most nights just constantly taking him back to bed. Or like the best way I found it is if you're still upstairs, you're fucked because he would just keep coming to you. So like, you have to go downstairs, and then I'll let him go to the top of the stairs where the stair gate is, and he'll call, and then he'll eventually start crying, and then I'll wait until the crying gets louder. Then I'll go to him because he's tired himself out a bit more, and then I'll go lying back down, and that tends to shut the fuck up then. But then like Harvey, our eldest, keeps being naughty in bedtime. He keeps getting out of bed, keeps calling us for stupid stuff. So it's like, right, okay, you can't have your tablet in bed anymore. But then the flip side of that is because he ain't got his tablet in bed anymore, he's not distracted, so he's getting more bored, so he's actually calling us more. And then lately as well, he's been really, we touched on it the other week, he keeps crying in bed because he doesn't want us to die. We keep hearing him crying and going, been just there bawling, oh, you're right, I don't want you to die. I'm like, great, so, I've got to sort that on the evenings as well. So I've started telling him that, like, in the future, scientists are going to find out some pill that can give us, that make us live forever. And he's like, do you really think so? And a little bit, I try and word it quite sensibly, because I'm like, well, fucking go back a few hundred years, son. People only live till they're like 30, 40.
Yeah. I
was like, now they're living into like 80, 90. So yeah, give it another fucking 30 years. Like, I'll be alright, son. I'll be around forever. But I have to keep telling him that. Like, he done it today. He was crying. And he was like, wanted his mum, and he only wanted his mum. So the wife went up and she come back down and she was like, do you want me to die? Like, right, okay. So it's what I mean, like, so where am I meant to meditate?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and once they do settle and whatnot, I'm worried about my wife. Is my wife okay? Do I need to spend some time with her? Is she alright doing what she's doing? Like, do we need to talk about anything? Like, can she talk about anything? Because half the time she's that wound up and fed up from the fucking day, trying to talk to her about her own issues. She's like, I'm just fucking tired. Like, I'm just tired now. I don't want to dig into my fucking shit.
Fair enough.
It's hard. So then that's where I'm like, Pokemon. Like, iPad, man, I'll just fucking do some battles. Like, just escape from it. This goes back to the episode a few weeks ago. Just escapism, because I'm still fully into the Pokemon thing. One, because I enjoy it. I'm trying to wean off it a bit, but I'm like, oh, yeah, I just want to play. Just get my mind away from everything.
No, I've been like that today at Magic. I've just been like,
yeah.
Every 10 minutes I got them to go game.
Because for me, it's been a heavy week. Like, luckily, work picked up this week. I managed to pay my fucking rent for the first time in 2 months.
Nice.
So I was happy with that. And yeah, I managed to get a few things paid, but then it's just daft stuff like the wife's fucking car needs an MOT and a service. So I rang up the garage, booked in. I'm like, by the way, how much do we still owe you from last time? They're like, 200 quid. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, right, okay. Yep. Fucking, I'll sort that out for you. Some fucking point.
Oh, Jesus.
So yeah, that's.
Oh, we told you this was going to get heavy.
That's been my week, and it's not even just my week. That's kind of like my life at the minute.
That's your fucking life, mate.
So that's why I put a post, and I put a picture of the car, the crash, and I put a post about it. Like on my work, I was like, look, I've been struggling to get back to, because I've had some people that have rang me for a quote. Oh, we want this doing da. And my normal thing is text me your address and your details, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And I've had some where it's been like 3-4 days before I've texted them back or something. So I messaged them like, oh, sorry for the delay, blah blah. Do you still want this doing? And the message about something snotty like, no, managed to find someone sooner. Thanks! ! I'm like, and then because I'm so empathetic and stuff like that, I'm like, at the same time, I can't just be like, oh yeah, fuck you. I'm like, you know, I've got a life, mate. Like, I've got a family and everything else, and all this fucking going on and everything else. Like, they just think you're just some ignorant prick that didn't message them back.
Well, no, I think it's more that it's like a stigma behind people.
Tradesmen.
It's like, you should get back to me straight away. It's your business. I'm giving you business.
Yeah.
You should get back to me straight away because I'm offering you business.
Oh, God. But in my head, it's like, well, you want the
and
work
9 times out of 10, the tradesmen probably would, because they're work focused. Like you said, you know tradesmen that will put in like 13, 14 hour days and they'll work weekends and they'll do all this shit, and then they go back and their fucking homes are life's a mess. Yeah. Because they ain't put time in with the kids. And at the end of the day, mate, family comes fucking first, 1,000,000%.
Being self-employed always compared to like the supermarket cashier. Like, you don't go to a cashier and be like, well, I'm bringing you business. I'm buying food from your store. Do you? You go, thanks for the food. Here's the money.
Yeah.
Don't you? Like, I had one the other day ago. I went there and I was like, I can't remember. I think I said like 80 quid or something. I went, oh, it weren't that much. I was like,
well, it was, mate.
I got my diary out and I was like, I remember writing the date and agreeing the price. When we're here, like, I've written your name there and the price, 80. And I'm like,
did he genuinely try and haggle you,
I was tired on the day and I was like, because he'd supplied the light, and I went, oh, alright, it's probably 80 with me supplying the light, so yeah, we'll just call it 60 then. But straight away I'm like, you'll do that fucking Asda, beep, 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 right, okay, 120 quid. Oh, no, I wouldn't pay that. No, I'll give you 100 quid for my shopping. Then the cashier would be like,
man,
off you fuck.
I don't even haggle car salesmen or nothing. It's like, if that's the price, that's the fucking price.
It baffles me. Like that one from my first day's counselling when he was like, I booked me holiday days. Like, I ended up having to go on a Saturday because I couldn't. I told him before booking the fucking. This is me bitching about customers now. I told him before booking the work, I was like, I can do you this day, but I'm busy in the morning. But I can get there late morning, the rest of the afternoon. And he had a lot of work he wanted doing. So even then I thought, well, you can't make that mistake with customers of implying. You literally need to say everything word for word. So because I felt it was implied that, well, you clearly know you've got a lot of work you want doing, and it ain't going to be a full day. You know I'm going to have to come back. So after that, obviously I've done it. He's like, well, I've booked all my holiday days now, so you're going to have to come on a weekend. And I'm like, what? Like, I don't do. But then I'm like, oh, yeah, because I took the job on, then I felt obligated.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whereas if it had said from the start, oh, can I have it done on a weekend? I'm like, yeah, okay, but it's going to be this much. But it's a weekend charge because it's time away from my fucking family. So I was like, but you get stuck feeling bad. Yeah. You get stuck feeling bad, like, oh, I've got to accommodate to them. And then you get a little voice, you go, hang on, you're the one that wants the fucking work doing. Like, you called me. You want me there. Like, you're the one that wants new lights fitting.
You should fucking accommodate me.
Yeah. Like, but that's 99% of the time. That's what customers are like.
Say, if I'd hired some work done, I'd be like, what day's best for you?
They'll say like, well, I work these days. I can get this day off, or I can finish early, or like I can meet you in the morning, but then I got to go to work. I'll leave you the keys. Like, they're normally quite trusting. Then damn, a limited fucking company from when I'm working. Obviously my business name's for them and everything. They just Google my business name and like it's easy enough to find where I live. So yeah, shitty fucking week, man, and it's hard. Sorry to just fucking whinge.
I feel like you needed to get that off your chest.
It's more like I just need.
You need people to understand.
Yeah, so because I've done it on the business one, I put the post like, sorry if I'm struggling to get back to you quick enough. This is fucking why. And then again, I shared that to the Rise.
You've had quite a lot of positive people speaking back to you.
It was nice. But then I reposted it on the Rise Road page because I'm like, this is why I haven't got. Like, I didn't do my vlog last week. I recorded it, but I ain't got around to editing it.
Yeah.
And I'm not just generally falling off. I'm not just being lazy. Like, I'm struggling with some shit at the minute. And, like, trying to find the fucking time to do that. It ain't happened. And it ain't happening. Again, I got them tutorials I recorded, like, fucking weeks ago and I ain't touched them. Started to edit them. So, yeah. That's why it's like that. That's why this podcast this week ain't really got a theme of, like, how to help you. It's more of a podcast of, like, hey, I'm fucking struggling. You're not the only one. Like, life's hard, man.
Like, everyone's got their struggles.
And yeah, this is my biggest one with this whole crash bullshit.
I mean, I ain't got no struggles as big as that.
Oh.
I live a relatively stress-free life, actually.
Yeah.
Should we wrap it up then?
Yeah.
We'll play some games of Pokemon. Make me feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no point in doing what's been up to this week.
Well, we pretty much just covered it in the episode.
Yeah. You've got some Pokemon decks now, though, so that's nice.
I have. Like I said, I've been getting obsessed with Magic again.
Yes.
God
Magic
help
the
me.
Gathering. I like the sound of it. I don't know if I've got the time for it, but it sounds cool.
It's, like I said, I'm not confident enough to play someone else physically, because I'd be just pissing them off every 2 minutes going, can I do this? Can I do this? Is this all right to do?
Sounds like me having sex.
I'd just be pissing them off. But like I said, when you're playing it on your phone, on the app or whatever, cards glow blue, which ones you can use, so you just look at which ones you can use. And
like you told me when I first got back into Pokemon cards to play it on the app.
Because it helps you learn the rules.
Much.
That's why I'm doing it on the phone playing Magic.
Because it's literally, if you can't do it, like you can't select that card.
Exactly.
Because you can't do that move.
Exactly.
Whereas in real life, you're like with my kids, I'm like, you're already putting energy on that. In that go, they're like, oh, did I? Whereas on the game, if you want one energy and put it on, like, you could not put another one on.
No, you physically couldn't.
So it does help you.
I
get
mean,
into
I haven't
the rhythm.
actually played anyone yet. I'm doing all them deck challenges to upgrade all my decks, and then I'll take them online. Because hopefully, doing all these challenges, about another 30 I got to do. I should have a bit more of a grasp on it.
The deck challenges or the trainer challenges?
On Magic.
Oh, on Magic. Sorry,
yeah, you get like the 5 different decks, and there's like 6 different challenges you can do on each deck. And every time you complete a challenge, it gives you cards to upgrade that deck. So you upgrade your deck as you go. So I'll upgrade all those decks, and then I'll take them online.
Fuck yeah.
Just play little matches and that. Like, see if I'm assuming I'll lose way more than I win.
Yeah,
but it'll mean something when I win. So,
yeah.
I
might look into it, especially if you can get it on your phone.
And it's free.
Yeah, free and on phone. Sweet.
Well, that's what I mean. If Pokemon was on the phone, I'd be on fucking that.
I know.
24 fucking 7.
I know.
Oh, I don't think my missus likes Pokemon that much. She thinks it's cute and everything, but I think I annoy her sometimes with how much I like it.
With the games or the cards? More the games?
Just like always playing the games, really. Yeah. Which is one thing I need. My gaming, I need. I don't game when I've got the little one and stuff like. My attention's all on her.
Yeah.
Like I had her all morning this morning. We played for like 8 hours straight, just with Barbies and running about and doing stuff. Like I won't touch a console.
Yeah.
When she's around, I might have the odd little game or something on my phone if she's eating dinner or watching TV or something for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But then, like, when Sophie gets back, sometimes I'll sit on my whatever, and I don't think she likes it too much sometimes. I mean, she understands and she don't mind. But
it's probably because you kind of feel, I'm assuming not to start getting into this now at the end of the podcast, but it's like you've been working. 'Cause it's work, man, being with a kid like that. So you almost feel like, well, Mum's home now, I can chill a bit.
Yeah, I suppose.
Because people get this the opposite way around, where it's Mom's at home all day looking after the kids. This is the typical one. Mom's at home all day with the kids, so the perception is like, well, you're at home all day, so that's just like negated. Man's been at work all day.
Do you know what? I would rather. I mean, it is a lot harder keeping up with kids and playing with kids all day. That's what I mean. Respect to any parent, mother or father, that like has the kids all day.
So like,
does all the
so you've had Babby all day. Missus been at work all day, and your missus is pregnant at the minute. So, like, at that time of when she comes home, you've effectively both been at work. Oh, yeah, 1,000,000%. So it's like... Sophie works fucking hard, man. So it's like, then, if there's not an agreed arrangement of literally word of mouth, word for word, had a conversation of, it's okay, when I get in from work, I'll take over, you can chill for half hour or something before I do dinner. If there's not had a conversation like that, if it's just out in the open, then you go with... You just split everything 50-50 still. You still put in the effort with the kid and the house and everything else. Until kids are in bed and they're away and asleep and quiet, then you go for it. Again, unless there's been something like a written documentation of like, without even saying that it's clear that, right, when you get in, I'm going to game for an hour and you're okay with that because you spoke about it. I mean, I wouldn't go, I've never gone like... I'm about generic, not you specifically. I'd say, because I've never like... Every now and then, once in a while, maybe, but I don't tend to like. We'll put something on TV or something like, because I feel bad. Yeah. And she's told me before, like, oh, you can go on your Xbox and stuff. But like, I feel bad. Yeah. Doing that when she's with me. Yeah. Because it feels like I'm neglecting her. Yes. So I feel bad doing that. Like, I've never been able to do it. I mean, I've never been a big gamer anyway, but like, I've wanted to play on my Xbox and stuff, but I can't literally leave the wife and leave the kids and go and play. Like, completely separately. That ain't fucking happening. 1,000,000%. But that's why I like the cards so much, because like today, the wife she went to Asda, so she took the youngest and her daughter, because her daughter was here for the weekend. And the whole time she was out, me, my 6-year-old and my 5-year-old were building decks. Like the whole fucking time. And then just as she got back, we all wanted to play with our new decks that we built then. So we were battling. So then like, I had a battle, was it just then? Yeah, because then I battled Harvey, I battled both my sons once each, and then my wife had a battle with one of my sons while I had a battle with my other son. Because I bought my wife a deck for our fucking wedding anniversary.
That's so cool.
And I got her a deck made of all like cute Pokemon.
That's so cool.
So it was cute, and I actually got her. She had a little dabble a couple of weeks ago, and then last night we had like an early dinner, and like I said to her, I got down on one knee and I was like, as if like I was going to propose something, like, will you please play Pokemon with me? So like, she was like, I will, but I'm not going downstairs. I was like, yeah, that's fine, we can do it on the bed. Wink. So we had a match, and she quite enjoyed it. So then today, when we're doing it with the boys, she was like, I'll have a game. She was like, I'll play with you. She went, I'll play, Harvey. You can play. I was like, really? She was like, yeah. I was like, oh my god, yeah. So it's nice because I'm playing it and I'm kind of getting my fix of it and I enjoy playing everything, but I'm doing it with my kids.
Yeah.
And I'm helping, like, my son, my youngest son, my recently turned 5-year-old, he'd built a deck, and I fucking grabbed it and I was like, he had fucking trainer cards in there which were just completely irrelevant to the deck. They wouldn't do anything. He had just random fucking energy cards because he just had a mix of them. He didn't have enough for the type that he had.
Right.
So I was like, here you go. Here's the right energy cards you need for your deck. I've took those 6 trainer cards out that would do jack shit and gave you ones that will actually help, just some hops and like drawing cards. So that deck will actually work now. There you go.
Oh.
You know, he like built it, actually fixed it for him. And again, like I do it a bit with Harvey, but he's older and he understands a bit more.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. But again, like, so it's nothing like, right, I'm going to play in a game. Some games you can play. Like, I know I've had it with Harvey before in the past where I've done a little bit of Xbox and he'll sit with me and he'll watch.
Yeah, he went for that bit of a phase, didn't he?
Assassin's Creed, he liked it, yeah. But yeah, I know what you mean. Like, to completely separate yourself, like, right, I'm going to go and play this and, like, leave the kids and...
Yeah, I could never do that.
I think maybe when they're, like, teenagers and shit.
Yeah, when they're
off playing their own games, they're off playing out with their friends and, like...
Yeah, they're not going to want to sit with their fucking dad.
But while they're old enough and at this age and it's still, like, they're arguing over just daft shit.
Yeah. And,
like... The one's still in fucking pull-ups and literally done a shit.
I mean, it's like, I don't know how you could without feeling bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's people that just don't give a fuck.
There's been a couple of times where Sophie said like, no, I don't mind you going on it.
Yeah.
That's fine, whatever. But I'm like, I feel bad. And I have done it a couple of times, but I always feel bad like while I'm doing it. So I haven't really done it much lately. And like when I'm with the little one, so that I've never been on my games. Like I said, if she sat down eating her dinner or she's chilling on her tablet for 10 minutes, I might have a quick game or something on my phone.
Yeah.
But I'd never like, right now, as you do that, I'm gonna go sit on the Xbox for a bit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how anyone could do that.
Nah, it's a different pet. I think.
And she's so much fun to play with, man. She makes me laugh like constantly.
No.
She's been a right nutter today. It was fucking hilarious.
She's a crazy one.
Oh, it's so funny.
I think to end on a really slightly higher note for this week, the one thing that did happen that was lovely was yesterday morning. Sometimes I do this thing because we don't like having biscuits upstairs because the kids get crumbs everywhere.
Yeah.
So I'll put the biscuit tin in the lounge. This is nice that I can trust them, but I'll put the biscuit tin in the lounge. I will chuck the fucking telly on. I'll leave the bowls in, but like, if you want a biscuit, you can go downstairs. You can have 2 and then come back upstairs. Sort of thing. Probably get dressed and everything. And they went downstairs, and you could hear them playing, but like quietly. And you'd hear them saying the odd thing like, "Oh, the teacher says this," and the was like, "Oh, they're playing schools." But it went on for like, I swear it's like an hour and a half. It's like, fuck. So like the missus was there on a fucking Switch playing Animal Crossing. I had Iron Fist on Netflix that I've started watching.
That's terrible.
I watched I'm enjoying it.
Oh, so shit.
Have you seen it then?
Yes. I watched it when it came out. It's terrible.
Okay.
The Marvel one.
Yeah.
That's terrible. It got cancelled after 2 seasons because it was so shit.
Oh, that's a shame. I like it because it's really not heavy.
Mate, Final Space.
What's that?
Oh, no, that is pretty heavy.
No, that's what I mean. I like it because it's like it feels cheap. Yeah. It's not too. It feels like watching Smallville.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Back in the day.
That was as well.
I've got the box set.
You love Smallville.
So that's what I mean. I could watch that and play and add my
background noise like.
Yeah, so I was watching it, still into it, and I'd pause my game for like some of the more fighty scenes and stuff. Plus, I like the guy because he was in Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah.
It was the.
Oh mate, I'm so buzzing.
It was the Night of Roses.
So buzzing that fucking Final Space is back on it. It's just out of nowhere. It's like season 3's dropped, but that's been cancelled after this now. Apparently this is the last season, so they best wrap it up nicely.
Speaking of wrap ups, the amount of times we've said.
Anyway. Yeah, right.
Right, yeah. So just fucking yakking now. Right, love you all. Sorry if it got a bit fucking deep this way. I mean, I'm sorry and I'm not sorry because it is what it is and it's life. And
yep.
I'm trying to set an example in a way of like, you know, share your shit. Oh, hashtag share your shit. Fuck it, it's a new thing. Hashtag share your shit. I'm going to do that now.
Should we update the world on my fantasy score? Let's see how I'm doing this week.
No one cares.
Let's see how I'm doing this week.
This is going in the outtakes. No one cares.
Not good.
There you go.
Yeah, not good at all. Where's Mike? Got 15 points from out of nowhere. Oh, his defence.
Oh, God, you just my 10 viewers are just dropping by the second. Fuck this. Right, I love you all, and we'll see you, speak to you.
Handles and Instagram, the outro, we need to do it right.
Go, right.
Please rate, subscribe.
Right.
Please leave a comment on the podcast and rate it, please. That helps greatly find people.
Pretty please.
So more people to view, so that'd be nice if you could just leave a little comment on the podcast, whatever platform you're viewing it on.
Yes.
And our Instagram handles are
Ryan's.road.
And mine is,
I believe,
Daddy Jane Gaming. That's Daddy J, and then it's Jane, which is Jayne Gaming, all one word.
Tweet. And then I think it's Ryan's.road Instagram and Ryan's Road 22 Facebook. And obviously the podcast is on YouTube. If you've listened to this on a podcast platform and you want to see what the fuck we look like, because
we're very handsome boys.
I know, right? It is on YouTube.
Finished jawline.
And if you can leave a comment on there, and they'll. If you want to subscribe and ding, I think a like on a YouTube video is meant to be really good.
I imagine so. Yes.
I think it helps for the algorithm or something.
Like.
So if you watched it on YouTube, like the video. Need to say at the start. Really now.
If you really want to help us go above and beyond, listen to it on your podcast, leave a review and rate it, and then look at it on the YouTube and just leave a like. You ain't gotta watch it again. Just leave a like.
That's it. It sounds like a lot of effort for someone. No one's going to do that. Love you all. We're gonna go, and we'll speak to you. See you everything next week.
We need an outro thing.
I know. Like music or...
No, just like a little catchphrase we end the show with.
Share your shit. Don't be afraid of the day.
Hashtag share your shit.
That's it.
Don't be afraid of the day. I like it. We'll go with that.
Cool. Love you all.
Peace out.
Do we do audio?
A little sound check first. Welcome to Ryan's Road podcast number 27.
Dicks, fannies and tits.
She brews a proper cup of coffee in a copper coffee pot.
Fuck you and your coffee pot.
Fuck you and your coffee pot.
Suck my dick.
Fucking slag. Get it out then.
Oh, just okay. Who's introing?
Yeah, I did the last one, I think, didn't I?
I can't remember.
You go for it. Welcome to Ryan's Road podcast number 27.